Welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana, and I give guidance through the spiritual awakening so that you can better understand the process that you're going through and get some perspective. And I want to talk a little bit in this video about letting go, the importance of letting go, and why we have to surrender again and again and again throughout this process. And at some point, we don't really have a choice. We keep trying to hold on to things to give us that give us meaning, or hold on to our old ways or beliefs that have given us comfort in the past, and it just doesn't work anymore. And we realize that we just have to relinquish control and completely surrender into the process and surrender. And once we surrender, then the pain also stops because we're not holding on, or we're not pushing against the process. The pain is always in that not letting go, in that trying to control, or in the disbelief, or in the um, pushing against what is. And once we relinquish, once we let go, once we surrender, then we are not fighting against it anymore, because the pain is in that separateness, is in that fighting against. So whenever we are trying to hold on to something, to someone, to an idea, we are holding on to something that is already like set in stone. We're holding on to something that is finite, something that is manifest, something that is already manifested. And because we are infinite beings with infinite potential, all options open in every moment. When we are holding on to something, or an idea, or someone, or a job that isn't going, or something, when we are holding on to something and trying to make it absolute, we are reducing our potential into the finite, whereas we are infinite beings, right? So this life is a constant, consistent flow. We are always flowing, and things are always changing and moving. We know this through science. Everything is in constant movement, everything is vibration, and everything is changing and slowly evolving. Even the things that we perceive as solid are in a process of change. Everything that is in the universe, everything that is in this world, is in existence and always has been and forever will be, including our body. What we are made of is just changing form. It's constantly malleable, it's constantly moving. And when we can get into that movement and quit trying to hold on to things and give them meaning, or see, there's a fine line here, because this is the plane, this 3D plane, this is the plane that everything plays out in. This is, you could see it as, we are in a game, and this is the playing field. And there are many of us in the playing field. Every single one of us has a different game, a different program running, but we're all using the same platform, which is the 3D platform. If you hold on to something in the 3D platform, you're holding yourself, you're anchoring yourself in place. You're anchoring your game to this little tiny area. When all options are open, there's tons of different things that you can go out and play with. But if you're holding on to this one person there, and making everything that you are dependent on that, first of all, you're not realizing your full potential. You're not realizing that you are the game. If you're forfeiting your power over into somebody else's game, then you're giving your power away. And you are not fully playing the game. You're not fully um, taking your birthright. And you're not fully understanding who you are and what you most enjoy, and what your purpose and meaning are. And so we keep on having to surrender again and again and again during this spiritual awakening. And it's there's so many different ways to look at it, and all options are accurate. And because we are multidimensional beings, and there are so many different ways and so many different aspects to come at the spiritual awakening from, right? So there's so many different ways to explain the exact same thing. So you could call it dark night of the soul. When we go into dark night of the soul, it is when we go into one of these um, you could call it a step up. You could call it a breaking down of ego. You could call it a letting go of control. You could call it a massive realization. You could call it getting closer to my core being, and closer to the divine truth, which is at the base of everything. And so there's so many different ways to look at this, and all options are accurate, and whatever works for you, right? With me, for me on my process, it's multi-tapping. It's like a tapping system. So one time I'll look at it from this point of view, another time I'll look at it from a different point of view, and another time I'll look at, and they all work for me, and slowly start bringing me further and further along on this spiritual expansion, a spiritual awakening, expansion. It feels like waking up from a daze. It feels like when you get up a level and you get that level of clarity, and you're looking throughout your whole life, it's like a domino effect. You look back and you're like, whoa, you can see things completely different and you can see the grandeur scheme of it all. So there was the story that I was going through, and I was in my emotions, and the things that happened in the finite world. And then when I look back, I was like, oh, there's a broader picture. There's the picture that's at one level up, the story of my life from all of the things that I had to experience. There's the emotional story that brought me to where I am now. And then you go up a level, and there's the spiritual story that was happening. And so there's so many stories, there's so many layers to this lifetime. There's infinite layers. And we are only touching when in these videos. You see, when you look directly at the light, you can't explain the light. There are no words for it. It's so grand and all encompassing. It encompasses even the words that you use. The words that you use are finite as well. It's a manifestation. So you kind of I watched this if Sumati, I think it was, that there's this 3-part series, Sumati, and it talks about describing the all, God, whatever you want to call it, that the divine intelligence that is of every single particle. And it says in there that you cannot explain it completely with words. So you have to explain around it, so that whoever the observer can only understand it through kind of, it's like you have to come into this place of balance where you can look, you can see it, but you can't fully look straight at it because it's so divine and you are of it. And this is why all of the answers of everything that you need to know are within you, because you are a part of it. So all of divine source is running within you inside in so many different levels. So you can break down your thoughts, you can break down your emotions. When you go through yourself completely and come out the other side, you have not only resolved yourself and resolved all of your misalignments and places that you were out of alignment, but you've also solved the entire universe around you. You have solved the playing game, bringing it back around to this platform that we are playing our lives out on. And this is the ultimate game. We got this avatar, this magnificent. It's so magnificent. We don't even have it all figured out yet. I mean, think about it. The blood that runs through our veins that brings oxygen to the different parts of our body, even just that. We're not even getting into the capabilities of our brain and the capabilities of our heart, the emotions and everything. You master this avatar, you have it mastered. You have this plane mastered because you are of everything in this plane. Everything of in this plane is of you, and it's all one. And and we are I need to reconnect. Give me a sec. So you are of everything that is. You always were and will always be part of everything that is. And when you try to hold on to something external, somebody external, it is because you are afraid of your own expansion. You are afraid of your own capabilities. You're afraid to play the game. And you're afraid that, what if I can't? But just the fact that you are here, you can. And if you're giving your power over to somebody else, then that is the way that you choose to play the game. That is what your life story is going to be written. And you're writing it right now. And there was another point here I was building up for, and I lost it again. This is the second time I lost it. Hold on. So when you are holding on to something external for your happiness, you are preventing that internal from happening. You're preventing, because the only thing that you can possibly hold on to during this game is what is going on inside of you, because you are the only thing you are taking with you throughout this entire game. And the only thing that is finite, the only thing that is absolute is change. So, in order to fully play this game, the only thing that you can hold on to is change. The fact that there will be constant and consistent change, and you have to bring yourself into a place where you are comfortable with that, where you are comfortable with whatever comes and changes, and seeing that as part of the game. Not only seeing it as part of the game, because that's really fear. When you think of this concept, it is you alone with change, with constant change. Now, there can be other players in the game with you, other people that you decide to be next to, but you have to first and foremost become an individual player and know your divine essence. Otherwise, you will always fear yourself because you are of the divine essence. And to know yourself completely will allow you to to play this game fully without fear. And what are we afraid of? We're afraid of our own emotions. We're afraid that it's always in the future. Sometime in the future, I'm not going to manage, even though the proof of it is in the now, because in every instance in your life, you have come to this point. So you have managed in every instance, even if it was difficult and even if it was painful and even if, but you always somehow managed. Even if your managing didn't look that great and you put your managing over on somebody else to manage for you, and you didn't feel like you had control in your life bringing you to this point, that was your point of control, relinquishing control. And so you always own it, whether you feel like you own it or not, or whether you're trying to give your power over or not, you always own it. And when you give your power over, be sure that you're paying a price, because nobody wants your crap stuck on them unless they are getting something from it, right? Which is either a sense of being powerful or a sense of controlling. So not only are you belittling your life experience by attaching and putting your crap over on somebody else, you are also enabling them and bringing their life experience down, because as long as they have that external, I control you, okay, I have to take care of you, they are also outside, right? Because they are putting their focus on something outside of them, which means that they're not fully going in and broadening themselves from the inside. And this is kind of like, to fully play the game, you have to go through yourself, realize that you are part of everything that is, and not get stuck on anything external, not get stuck on it. Don't put your dependencies on anything external. And that is why we keep on having to surrender and let go, especially when it's big things that we're holding on to for our lives. It feels like, for security, for that, our jobs, our houses, our parents, our spouses, our children, things that define us. And during the spiritual awakening, you let go of everything that defines you, everything external that you've found to define you, and you come back home to yourself. And that's when you truly find yourself. And you find that it's like liquid. It's constantly changing and moving and expanding. There isn't just one thing that you are. There is a multifaceted, and that is even making it smaller. It is inconceivable to the human brain to understand the enormity of infinity. So you just have to be it, and find that fine balance between the finite, playing in the finite, because this is the realm, the finite realm, playing in the finite and being infinite at the same time. You have to find that perfect meeting point. It's like the perfect meeting point between masculine and feminine, the perfect meeting point between plus and minus, the perfect meeting point. That's why between day and night. That's why those times of just when the sun comes up and just when the sun goes down at night, they're like magic. Um, you can feel it. You go outside, you can feel it. The birds start a total chaotic dance in the sky. It's beautiful to watch, and you feel it. That's why sunsets are so beautiful, and sunrises. You feel the magic in it. You feel that it's majestic. And when you really take off all the masks and take off everything that you were taught to believe, and all of the pressure and all of the have tos, and everything that you're under pressure about, I have to do this, and you lose yourself in that noise, that noise in your mind. And when you have all that constant noise, you can't find that quiet place to just see and to perceive. And when you remove all of that, all of the blinders and all of the preconditions that were put on you through ancestors, through what you were taught, through the pressures of life, through you have to make a living, through your disconnect from nature, and you just look around you, the proof of divinity is in everything. You see the plants growing. You see the magic in it. You hear the birds chirping. Listen. You see the magic in everything. The way the curtain falls, the way that life is, the way that I am. You see that I am a part of this magnificence, inseparable. You cannot take me out of existence and have existence continue, because I am part of it, inseparable part of it. And all parts belong, and all parts are loved, and all parts are needed. It's like saying part of God doesn't need to be there. It's not divine. And that's why it's so ridiculous, the insecurities that we have, and as humans. And I myself, that is part of my overcoming insecurities and feelings of inadequacy, and feelings of I don't belong, and feelings of all of the things, that all of those emotions which belong to ego, because in the universe, emotions, your emotions are, this is something that I realize, your emotions are dependent on your perspectives, and your perspectives are dependent on your belief system, and your belief system was put in place by programming and life experiences. And your belief system are thoughts that continuously are thoughts. So they are fluid and they are changeable. It means that you can take the proof in two people that live across the world from each other in different societies, and they have complete different belief systems in place. And that in itself is proof that there isn't just one way to believe. Two people in the same room believe different things. Everybody does. So that is something that is changeable and malleable and dependent on finite. So even your own thoughts and your own beliefs have to become fluid and interchangeable. So if you're holding on to something in the finite world, which is also beliefs that things have to be in a certain way, right? There's divine intelligence. There is the divine way of things, which is the natural cause and effect, um, which is always and consistently in change, alive. It is alive. Whatever is manifest is already in decay. So if you're holding on to something that is manifest, you're holding on to decay. And that means you're holding your infinite being wants to continue to expand, and you're holding on to something, and that's going to be very painful. So relinquish, let go. Once you let go, the pain is gone. There's there's a vastness in it. There could be fear in it because it's going into the unknown, but that's your expansion, and that's part of the game. Are you going to be strong enough? Are you going to be able to get through it? Are you going to be able to embrace it? Are you strong enough? And because not only do you have to show immense strength and durability and determination, but you're also going to be tested in your weaknesses. So if you have a tendency to grab on and define yourself by something in the physical world, or an out, for instance, some kind of escape through some kind of addiction, something that will ease your pain. I'm just gonna zone out and watch TV for the rest of my life, which once in a while to watch something is okay. It's good, but not to completely turn off your mind and sell your complete life to somebody else's story, which a lot of kids do now with their phones, um, which is an epidemic. And so you have to bring that power back to you. And in the beginning, a lot of times it may seem boring, even though once you get into it, you realize it's the most exciting that there is, being in yourself. I don't have patience to watch TV. My life is too exciting. And so it's letting go again and again and again. If you would like to meet with me or would like further support, my website is below. Um, I'm sending you guys so much love. I love you. Thank you for watching.